Today is a very busy but exciting day. I am going to be bringing y'all along with me for the behind the scenes of packaging orders, making orders, and recapping how my very first drop went. I'm going to be sharing what went well, what didn't, what I'm going to change, what I'm going to keep, all of those things. So if you are interested in watching, keep on watching. We are going to go ahead and start immediately with packaging orders. The orders are now officially packed for Ash and Amanda, which, by the way, thank you to you both so much for purchasing from me. I really appreciate it so much. I cannot wait for y'all to get these orders, and I really hope that you love and enjoy your items. And I also just wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone who has subscribed, liked, watched, commented, shared my videos. I really appreciate your support as well. I am just really in awe of how this channel is growing and how the small business is growing as well. It really means a lot to me, and I really love this small community that we are building here. So thank you again. If you happen to miss my January drop, I will have a drop in February as well. The date has not been set in stone yet. However, if you are interested in checking out my website and purchasing from me, I do have items available permanently on my website, and I will be sure to leave a link in the description box down below for y'all to check that out. As for what I am going to work on now, I am going to get these packages out once I get my daughter picked up from school. She loves going to the post office, so I figured it would be really fun to have her help me out with that. And then as of now, what I'm going to work on is the beanie. I have 2 orders I have to make. I have a beanie, as I just mentioned, and a QR code tapestry to work on. The beanie is going to be worked on first, and then the tapestry, because the tapestry is going to take a little bit longer, and I need to make sure that it's done correctly, so I don't want to be trying to rush it to get to the beanie. Good morning, it is the next day. I did get this far into my beanie last night, so I'm super excited about that. I should be able to finish this today, hopefully rather quickly, so I can go ahead and start the next order. I also have been working on my membership. I'm going to be having a membership launched sometime, I think, this month, in the month of February. I don't have an exact date yet, but I'm currently working on membership badges. I only have 1 tier for my membership. I figured that would just be the easiest thing to do, honestly, and if I decide to add more perks to it later on, I can always do that. So what I currently have available at the moment is membership badges, emojis, members only polls, members only lives, and members only videos. I have a couple ideas already for the videos, and the grand scheme idea, I guess you could say, for the videos is going to be a lot less edited. I'm not going to take out a lot of the bloopers per se, so those will be left in. And then as for the lives, they're going to be a little bit more personable. I'll probably talk a little bit more about the behind the scenes of things and all that, so if you're interested, it will be available at some point this month. I'll make a post once it is available. I do want to let y'all know that the content that I currently do post as of now, so the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday videos and the lives that I do throughout the week, that will not change. That will all stay the same. So if you are not able to do the membership, that is totally fine and okay. The content that I'm going to be providing is still going to be the same. So I figured I would just give you all a little bit update on that, since we're talking about orders, drops, updates, changes, things of that nature in the video today. So that is what I was up to. I'm now going to keep working on my beanie. Here is the beanie all complete. It is now much later in the evening, and to be completely honest, I have no idea if I am going to work on my next order or not. It is for a family friend. There's no specific deadline to it. It is also currently 10:30 at night. So I think what I might do is maybe start it tonight. Do the first 2 rows. They're going to be a border of white. I don't know how big it's going to be. I do have my grid ready to go though, so that's good. That's already made. That's fabulous. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous making this because I don't know if it's going to work or not, and I don't necessarily have all the time in the world to frog it, redo it, frog it, redo it, frog it, redo it. So to start, I think I need to keep it really easy and simple. Do the first 2 rows in white, see how large I want to get it. It is going to be a hot pad or a pot holder. It's strictly just decor, decorative items, so I don't have to use cotton, which is fabulous because I think with tapestry crochet, trying to use cotton yarn would be a nightmare. So I'm going to grab my acrylic yarn and I'm going to get started on the first 2 rows. I did just do my chain of 30. That was my plan, was to do 30 chains, and then each block on my grid was going to be 1 stitch. However, I don't know that it's going to work because how long are pot holders? I need to look that up. I've made a couple, but I kind of just randomly make them to whatever size I feel is best. Okay, so 8 by 8, I think this is at 6.5 inches right now. I don't want to double it because then that would be 60 stitches across, and I think that would be way too long and large. Maybe I do the white border a little bit bigger? Okay, let me work on this real quick. Okay, I have 40 chains now, and it is at 8.5 inches long, or wide, I guess, because this is going to be the width of it. I think I'm going to keep that. I'm going to work my second row, see how long it is, and, well, I guess technically my first row, because I'm going to be working into the chain. So I'll work the first row, I'll work the second row, see how it's looking. I'm going to do half double crochets for these. I think that's just going to be the easiest method to also get some height. Hopefully it doesn't look too wonky. We'll see. Again, I'm really hoping that I don't have to redo this project over and over just because I don't necessarily have the time to do so. That is my current plan. I just measured after doing my first row, and it is currently 9 inches long, so I think I measured the chain wrong. I don't think I had it flat all the way, which is fine. The average width or length, I guess, dimensions of a pot holder is 7 to 9 inches, so it's still within that frame of measurement. So I'm going to work up some more rows. I'm hoping it'll look good. I'm really nervous about this, y'all. I really don't want to disappoint. I don't want to be like, yeah, I can totally make it. You know, I never even said that. I was like, hey, I've never really gotten into tapestry. I've like dabbled very, very lightly. I'll try my best. I'll keep you updated. I'll let you know how it goes. But I still don't like failing. You know what I'm saying? Like to go back and be like, hey, it didn't work out. I'm so sorry. I'm just a little nervous about, if I'm going to be honest. So I don't think it's a bad thing though, because I don't want to be like, yeah, it works, send it, and then it doesn't work, and then we have a whole different issue on my hands, right? So again, I just don't like failing though. Like when projects don't go well for me, I'm like really disappointed, and I'm like, why didn't it go well? I mean, I can figure out why, but it's like, man, I really didn't expect it to go badly. I only had good expectations. I thought it would be fine. Or it's more of like a, I'm not really sure how it's going to go, but like deep down inside, I'm like, it's going to be fine. It's going to work out. It's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. My yarn is tangled. I'm using like a little bit of a, oh, there we go. Good enough. Okay. I have plenty now, I think, to do the second row, see how it looks, see how it goes. I'm probably not going to finish this tonight, just to be honest. What time is it? 10:49 now. Definitely probably not going to finish it. I mean, I can work at it, but it's not going to be done tonight, I don't think. And I would talk about what the recap is right now as I'm crocheting this, but I really have a hard time talking and crocheting at the same time. I end up making way more mistakes than I normally do, and then I have to go back and redo it. So for something like this, I'm going to wait till I'm done working on a little bit, and then I'll come back with the drop recap for y'all. I just had a thought. Maybe half double crochets is not going to be the move because the stitches look different from the front and back. So I don't know how that's going to translate. Well, it should be fine. I just really like the half double crochet. Like, I don't like the double crochet in doing tapestry. I tried doing that and I couldn't even finish the project because I was struggling with it so much. So, I also don't want to do single crochet though because it's going to take forever, and then I've got to double up my rows as well there. But is my project going to be more tall than wide by doing half double crochet? That's the real question. Is there a pattern for this? I think there might be. Let's see if there is a pattern for this. Oh, by the way, I completely forgot. There is someone that has already done this before. That's where the inspiration came from. So I'll be sure to link the creator of this pattern, this tapestry, this grid down in the description box down below in case y'all are wanting to try it out. I haven't followed her pattern. I just saw like that's what she did, is she crocheted a QR code. So I have no idea how she did it. Okay, yes. And it's free. What stitch did we use? I'm going to download it. And it was 60 rows, and that's okay. That's what I was thinking I was gonna have to do. Sorry, I'm like completely going, as I'm looking at this, I'm sharing my thought process. So you know what, instead of trying, I should have just done this from the beginning, because I went ahead, I made a QR code myself, I made a grid out of it myself. I should have looked to see if there was a pattern for this, and I didn't. Wrong side then right side. And yes, there is a wrong side and a right side. Okay, I want to see if it's going to scan. I'm going to scan the picture and see if my iPad can read it. Maybe that would be a good way to test the pattern, although it is a picture. But a QR code is a QR code, so I don't see why it wouldn't work before I even start it. It does! Literally trying to gather all of my thoughts in one, like, I don't know anymore. It's almost 11 o'clock at night. I'm really excited about this. I guess my plan of what I was going to do is fine. However, my thought process of maybe needing to double up each block basically was correct, because I think they did 60 across and 60. No, wait, gauge? Oh, do I need to do a gauge? Probably, but am I going to? No, probably not, because I can do it however I want, it says. So there is a wrong side and a back side. So then, is it going to matter what stitch I use? And I'm left-handed, so I work left to right, right to left. I did take a look at a couple of the pictures of other people using the pattern, and I do see that someone did use half double crochets, and it's not a square, it's a rectangle. Someone else did a single crochet, and it's definitely more square-like. So I think I'm going to have to frog this. I am going to just do the single crochet. I'm probably going to not enjoy the process of doing the single crochets because it's going to take quite a while. It's going to take a little bit longer than I expected. However, there will be no guesswork because I was able to scan it on my iPad, so it works. I just got to make sure that mine will actually work. So hopefully it goes well. I am going to restart this, and honestly, do I restart it now or do I restart it in the morning? You know what? No, I'm already here. It's 11 o'clock. I'm going to start it. It should not take too terribly long to do the first couple rows. I am going to follow the pattern. I know it's been a little chaotic of getting this project started, but I figured I would just share my thoughts of trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do, just because that realistically is what I'm thinking inside of my brain. I just happen to be saying it out loud because I'm filming right now. So hopefully you find that entertaining. Find it interesting. Maybe you can relate to it. Okay, now I have another problem. So I just did my chain. It is extremely long. I don't know if they're gonna want an extremely large pot holder. So right now it is measuring with my chain, and of course my chain is always hard to really gauge because it likes to bunch up sometimes. 12 to 13 inches long, which is way longer than the 7 to 9 inches for an average pot holder size. I'm gonna take a pause on it. I want to make sure I get the dimensions that they are wanting correct. Good morning, it is the next day, and I am going to go ahead and just jump into my drop recap for y'all. I am going to work on my tapestry order later on. My attention needs to be 100% on that when I do work on that, so that's why I'm not going to work on it as I'm talking through my drop recap. So the first category of things that I want to talk about for my drop recap are the things that I learned. The first thing I learned is that it is best to just go ahead and do things as you go. So for example, that's taking the pictures after I make the product, make the listing, get the weight and measurements, do the pricing, do the category for the website so it's in the right category. Do that as I go, because for my first drop the day before, my website got caught on the back end and it was not recognizing the plan that I had. And so therefore my shipping was not working, and I have an automated shipping account basically through Easy Ship, and because it wasn't recognizing my elite plan, it wasn't recognizing that I had the automated shipping and that I had an Easy Ship account. To prevent that from happening, what I plan on doing is just doing things as I go. My thought process initially was to just batch things together basically, because that's how I've always done things, right? If I've got to make items, I'm going to make them, and then I'm going to take my pictures, and then I'm going to get all the listings. However, in this case, if this happens again close to the drop, this will make sure that at least the majority of the items are up and ready to go. If I've made last minute items, they may not make it onto the drop, but at least the items from throughout the month will be available for the drop. So that's the first thing that I learned. It was a little bit of a hard lesson. It was very stressful. It ended up working out, but just in the nick of time. And that's just extra stress that I can remove by doing things as I go. The second thing that I learned is that I need to make my announcement sooner. Now, I did have really good feedback and responses on my very first drop, and I also understand that because it was my first one, that people are going to have to maybe adjust to the idea of the drop, get more familiar with it, and I got to do it a couple more times before they're like, oh yeah, she's got her drop at the end of the month. Okay, got it. So for my next drop, I want to make my announcement as soon as possible, on social media specifically. So that is something that I'm going to be doing to improve my drop. The next topic I want to cover are the things that I actually did like that I did. The first one is the number of days that I had my drop open. I had my drop open from Saturday at noon Central Standard Time to Tuesday, actually technically Wednesday at 12 a.m. And I like that I had 4 days because it allowed people to browse, figure out if they wanted to get the item or not, and be able to purchase. I know some of my friends that are working on weekends and then they're not able to get anything until like Monday or Tuesday. Or, you know, if you forgot and like you were like, oh, I need to get that item, and then you forgot, it's like, oh wait, it's still open. I can still go and get the item. So I am very happy that I did the 4 days rather than just 24 hours, and that it allowed people to consider if they want to actually purchase an item or not, because I know when I'm under pressure of trying to buy an item and I'm told that things are limited, things are going to run out of stock, I tend to freeze up and not purchase because I feel like I don't have time to think about if I want to buy or not. So I like the number of days I had the drop open, and that's what I'm going to do for my next drop. And that's what I'm going to keep doing for as of now, unless, you know, things change. The next thing that I liked is I actually had some orders from my permanent collection on my website, and that was really awesome that the orders I got weren't just specifically from the drop and that they were also other items on my website. So I really liked that. That was really exciting to see, and I am so excited for the next drop. Hopefully the same thing can happen. The only thing is I may have to better plan how I go about doing both the drop and the made to order items, because drop items are ready to ship and ready to go. The made to order items, I have to make sure I have the yarn, have the time to make it, things of that nature. So as of now, I'm going to keep it that way, but if the drop starts getting a little bit more busy, I may have to close down the made to order items for the duration of the drop and then open it back up once the drop is over. But as of now, that's the way it is going to stay. I'm going to keep both open until things need to change. The next topic I want to talk about are the items that I actually sold. So I sold 2 ear warmers for my drop, 4 scrunchies from my permanent collection on my website, 1 beanie from my permanent collection, and then I had 1 Tapestry QR code custom order, which is really exciting to have that variety of items ordered, not only just for my drop, but also from the permanent collection, and then a custom order, which is super fun and exciting. As for the goal that I wanted to have for orders, I honestly didn't have any because I've never done a drop before. However, I will say this, I've had 1 to 2 orders a week basically. So to go from 1 to 2 orders to 4 in a week, I think is some serious growth. I think that's really exciting. And I also have to remind myself too that my business just started in November. So the expectation of having like a sold out drop, I think is a little unrealistic, you know, because people are still getting familiar with my brand. We're still building trust. I'm still making updates to my website to make things flow smoothly. I'm getting more accustomed to having more consistent posts on all social media platforms across the board. There's a lot of different factors that play as well. Also, just had Christmas happen in January, right? So Christmas time and Thanksgiving time, orders were coming in at a great pace. And then Christmas time and then right after Christmas, it slows down because everyone just bought stuff for Christmas, right? So I do want to just let y'all know that information, that these numbers may not seem that large, but for me and what I've seen in the past couple months of just starting out, I think they're really great. And I think it's important for me to share that because I'm not going to sell out of everything at this point. I'm just not there yet in my business. I'm not saying that it could never happen, but because I'm just starting out, that's where I'm at. And I think that it's okay to not have a drop where everything sells. And it's not that people don't like it. It's that they're sitting and watching, thinking about maybe ordering. And I also don't have international shipping available yet, which is another goal that I have for this month's drop, is to get that set up and ready to go. So if there are people in other countries besides the state that want to order, they can order. So automatically my audience of people that may want to purchase is limited because it is limited to just the states for shipping. So a lot of factors at play. And I just want to say as well, like, if you are in the situation where you just started and you are comparing yourself to other people and what they're doing for markets or their online shops or their Etsy, you cannot compare yourself to them because you also don't know how long have they been doing it. Did they have another account? How many times have they tried doing the drop or the custom orders or a permanent collection? How many times have they had to roll it out? There's just a lot of factors that you don't necessarily see behind the scenes. And so I just wanted to share that with y'all. And I'm really proud of myself because it took a lot of time and effort and work, you know? And so I'm just really happy and satisfied with how it went. And I hope that I continue to grow as I continue to do the drops. The next topic I want to talk about is what am I going to do with the items that are left over from the drop? And I don't even want to say left over because that sounds so bad, but the items that just did not sell. And I thought about this for a little bit. For the Mardi Gras items, I am going to save those for next year. I'm going to go ahead and put them in a storage tote, label it Mardi Gras, or actually holidays, because all of my holiday seasonal items, I'll just go ahead and put them in there, and then I'll just roll them out the following year. As for the other items that are not uber specific to a holiday, I am going to roll over some of them into my next drop. And the reason I want to do that is because February is a much shorter month. I mean, I say much shorter month, but just to give y'all an idea, I started prepping for my January drop in December. So because I have a limited time of prepping for my drop, I think that'll give me a little bit of a cushion in the event that things happen in life. Which they do. Things do happen in life and you just aren't planning or preparing for it. And so I do want to roll over some items from January's drop to February's drop and kind of give it like a second chance, basically. As for plushies, for example, I do want to save those for market specifically. I think those would sell better in person because you're able to pick them up, feel them, see how soft they are, see the weight of it. The kids are able to pick them up and see them. And the plushies, they are geared to anybody, but I know that kids are usually the ones that gravitate towards the plushies more so than adults. However, I am one that is like, yeah, I would buy a plushie. Why not? That would be fun. But I do understand that that's not how all adults think. And even kids, they may not even all like the plushies, right? But I think the plushies will do better in person, in markets. So I'm going to save those for my market. And then as for the items, once they have their second chance, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the items. Because then at that point, they've already been in the drop twice, or 2 different drops actually. And so my thought process is maybe to then also move those items to the markets. Now, If I get to the markets and the items do not sell for whatever reason, right? There's a lot of different things that could be at play as to why an item may not sell when it comes to crochet. I think I'll have it on hand. I'll keep it on hand. And I can use it for videos. I can use it for marketing. I can use it for pictures. There's a lot of different uses I can have for items that do not sell. And so in my opinion, whatever I make, if it doesn't necessarily sell or find a good home, I don't think it's a failure. There are other ways that I can use it to produce an income, essentially, right? My turtle may not sell, but it may bring more attention to my shop. Same with the Mardi Gras items, right? Also, with a drop like mine that I have for January, there was a lot going on. That might have been way too much going on in one drop, having 2 holidays and the regular general items. So I'm interested to see how February's drop is going to go, because there's only going to be mostly general, and I'm going to do very select few items for St. Patrick's Day, although I might not because it's just green. And a lot of people like the color green. It's a popular color. So maybe not. Maybe I'll take that back. So essentially, that is my plan for the items that did not sell in this first drop. Some of them are going to move into the second drop. Some of them are going to be stashed away for the next holiday or next year's holiday. And some of them are going to be moved into a market. So that is my plan. Of course, it might change after the second drop, or after a couple of drops. I might figure out a better method for it. I don't know. We'll see. But that is all that I have for my drop recap. And I hope it was a little bit insightful. I know it might have been a little bit all over the place, but again, as I continue to do my drops and the drop recaps, they are going to get better. And so if you are interested in learning anything about the drop, or if you have any specific questions, feel free to leave those questions in the comment section down below. I would be happy to answer majority of the questions. And I think that's where the video is going to end today as well. If you liked it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and click subscribe if you are not already. Ring the bell to receive all the notifications so you can be notified when I upload. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And I also go live throughout the week. I make a post here on my channel letting y'all know when I do go live, since I do not have a set schedule. With that, I will see y'all on Saturday for Scrap Yarn Saturday. Bye!